Salut tout le monde. On recommence. Je ne sais pas si on a embarqué ou pas. On avait une couple d'entrevues avec des joueurs. Bon, ça a fini. Première fois pour moi. On a match nul avec les Alouettes. C'est ma troisième saison. Ça termine 19-19 ce soir. Euh, Quel match absolument bizarre, étrange. Euh, Écoute, c'était étrange dès le début. Écoute, vous avez peut-être remarqué, je ne sais pas si vous l'avez vu à la télévision, vous avez peut-être remarqué que les Alouettes ne sont pas sortis du vestiaire pour l'hymne national. Ça, malheureusement, pas de notre faute. On n'a jamais eu d'habitude, il y a quelqu'un de la Ligue qui embarque dans le vestiaire pour nous dire quand quitter le vestiaire. J'ai aucune idée pourquoi. Mais ceci ne s'est pas reproduit. Donc, on a manqué le signal. Et c'était juste, tout était bizarre après ça aussi. Une première mi-temps étrange, deux échappées de notre part, une de Fletcher, une de Letcher. Et les Stampeders ont marqué 10 points avant que Cody lance même une passe. Donc, c'était bizarre, un autre départ un peu lent pour les Alouettes. Moi, on est revenu dans le match. On avait la grosse séquence à l'attaque grâce au jeu au sol, avec notamment la course de 55 verges de Walter Fletcher. Et Cody a fini la séquence par marquer un toucher au sol de 3 verges. Et honnêtement, à 17, je me suis dit, OK, ça va bien. Mais les Stampeders, l'attaque des Stampeders, il faut leur donner crédit parce qu'ils ont marqué seulement 19 points. Mais ils ont quand même eu beaucoup de verges. Donc, tu sais, c'était une première demi bizarre. Mais les Stampeders sont rendus à la ligne de 2 verges, ils ont échappé le ballon, on reprend le ballon et on a essayé malheureusement ce soir. On a vu une équipe des Stampeders qui, eux autres sont obligés, ils ont été obligés de gagner ce match-là parce que leur saison, ils sont rendus à 4-8-1 en ce moment. Donc, c'est ils ne sont pas dans une bonne situation. Là, les Alouettes, 10-2-1. Mais ce soir, un point, c'est bon. Ottawa a perdu un peu plus tôt aujourd'hui. Donc, on avance. On a une avance de 4 points sur le Rouge et Noir pour la première place. La semaine prochaine, on s'en va à Ottawa jouer contre eux autres là-bas. Et c'est un gros match. Mais je vois déjà les commentaires, je vous trouve sévères. Je vous trouve sévère envers Cody Fajardo. Oui, je sais que l'attaque n'a pas nécessairement produit des gros résultats ce soir, mais on était souvent en deuxième et long, premier et long. Beaucoup de punitions ce soir. À mon avis, c'est pas juste le corps arrière. Je sais que le corps arrière reçoit beaucoup du crédit quand on gagne, puis beaucoup de blâme quand on perd. Mais quand même, c'est un match qui a été difficile dans les 3 facettes. Je ne sais pas, aucune idée qui a gagné le joueur du match Budweiser. Mon vote à moi, honnêtement, je pense que c'est Maltos. Un placement de 53 verges, 2 placements en prolongation, placement en fin de game. Il ne restait plus de temps au cadran pour forcer la prolongation. Donc, Maltos a vraiment bien jouer ce soir. Pour moi, je pense pas qu'on a déjà donné le joueur du match Budweiser à Maltos, mais honnêtement, ce soir, je pense que c'est lui qui devrait le gagner. Il mérite à 100% parce que Maltos a été vraiment incroyable cette semaine. Écoute, le placement de 53 verges, c'est juste pour vous dire, selon moi, le meilleur botteur de la Ligue, c'est René Paredes. Ça fait longtemps qu'il est un des meilleurs et un des plus constants. Et lui, ils ont botté de la même direction, un placement de la même direction. Et ce soir, Paredes a manqué 2 placements et une de 51 verges. Et Maltos l'a réussi de 53 verges. Donc, Maltos est en feu. Je pense que c'est 11 ou 12 de suite avant ce match-là. Je n'ai pas les stats devant moi, malheureusement, mais je pense que ça en fait 4 ce soir, 2 en prolongation, un de 53, puis un autre à la fin du quatrième quart. Donc, ça devrait être 15 en 15, 16 en 16, ou 16 de suite, je devrais dire. Mais on va avoir ces chiffres-là dans notre article d'après-match. All right, we're going to switch over to English just because we do have players starting to come out of the locker room. Very nice of Mr. Darnell Sankey to stop by, the middle linebacker. Let me just switch with you so you can get. All right. I don't know how to feel about that tie. Sankey, it felt like they were a team that was there for the taking, and it just, unfortunately, it just didn't have it. You guys didn't have it tonight. Just how do you feel about the way that, the final result tonight, 19-19?
Obviously, no one wants a tie, but no one wants a loss either. Of course, I mean, anything other than winning is unacceptable, but, I mean, it is what it is. What could we do?
Yeah. How tough was it in hindsight? You look and you guys are down 10-0 because of the 2 fumbles in the blink of an eye. To overcome that, how tough was that?
I mean, yeah, but we shouldn't have been down anyway. That's kind of been seems to be our MO this year. We start off too slow. And once playoff football comes around, that can't happen. So we definitely need to get in the film room and figure it out. So.
At the same time, I really feel like you guys tightened up in overtime down the stretch. I mean, you guys didn't give up anything in overtime. And you guys got the big turnover on the 2-yard line, short yardage tonight. I thought you guys shorted up. I know you didn't stop them, but I mean, not that they didn't have anything explosive, but I mean, there was a couple close calls where Tommy Stevens didn't get necessarily a good push. Just defensively overall, especially down the stretch, how did you feel tonight?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we're the number 1 defense in the league. I just think we have to prove it all game. And like I said before, it seems like we're just coming out too slow. I don't know I don't know if we got to maybe huddle before, or I don't know, but it's unacceptable. We understand. We got to play championship football at all times. So we played like it later in the game, but not the whole game.
Thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
All right, Darnell Sankey of the Montreal Alouettes. Nice enough to join us here on the post-game show, and it does. We talked a bit about it in French, but it did kind of feel like it doesn't. I wouldn't say it feels like a loss, because you come and you try to overcome that deficit. You didn't lead until the end of until the start of the first overtime. So it was a little bit tricky to battle back, and when you're down 10-0, I think Sank put it best. When you're down 10-0 in the first quarter in the blink of an eye, it's a little bit frustrating to see that. Okay, we'll get to more analysis. So it was a weird game. We'll get to your questions and comments. Si vous avez des questions, des commentaires, vous pouvez les laisser. Il y en a déjà beaucoup. Donc, on va attendre le prochain joueur, mais on va lire des commentaires. Bon, il y a beaucoup. On en a parlé. We talked about it a lot. Already, I think tonight, clearly the offense, not the best game that they've played. I thought that in every facet, the offense and defense, actually, I didn't think that it was, a full 60-minute game. The offense had a little bit of a difficult time, but at the same time, I think people are a little too harsh with Cody. Cody's had an unbelievable season, though, so far. The betting favorite for MVP. Or MOP at this point. So, all right, we'll get to comments in a second, but it was nice to see Tyler Snead back out there, and we've got Tyler Snead here joining us. I'll start the same question I asked everybody else. I mean, I don't know how to feel about the tie. It's kind of weird because you guys didn't lead until the start of the first overtime, but it just felt like that game was there for the taking. How do you feel about the draw?
Yeah, you always want to win. I don't think I've ever tied, so this is my first time going through it too, but I mean, we want to finish, but I'm proud of the way we fought, especially towards the end. Like you said, we took the lead in overtime. So it was a long game, but we ended up battling back and, we got the tie.
Offensively tonight, it felt like the ground game got going. Through the air, you guys had a couple of explosive plays. You had a couple of big second down conversions. How would you sum up this one offensively?
Yeah, I think we had a good offensive game plan coming in. I think we left some things out there, but I think you do that every game, Not every plan is perfect, and you can't execute everything perfect, but I think we did good, and especially dug deep down on the end, especially that last drive. Cody made a couple big throws. Kaion made some big catches, especially Reg too. So I think we worked as a team, and we got going in the flow, so we just got to keep that going into next week.
I know this week you had mentioned that, in your football career, you had never missed an extended period of time. You haven't played since week 1. How did it feel to be back out there tonight, and how do you feel physically after this one?
Physically, I feel good. I feel fine, ready to go for next week. But, yeah, mentally, I was happy to get out here with my brothers again, compete, have the opportunity. wish it could have ended in a win, but you know, a tie is all right. And then next week we're going in and we're going to try and win.
Thanks for this, Tyler.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, Tyler Snead of the Montreal Alouettes. First game back. Nice enough to stop by. Let's keep it rolling with number 84, Reggie White. I'm going to go this way so that people can see you. I don't know if I can say it. Tie is like kissing your sister. That's the old expression. But I don't know if I want to go there. But just how should I feel about this one, Reg? Because I'm not sure how I feel about it because it felt like that game was there for the taking, but just it ends in a draw.
Like Coach said, it was a very weird game. But we stuck together as a team. You know, we was down in the fourth quarter and we fought back and was able to tie it up and go into overtime and just take it from there. But I'm just proud of the way we fought. You know, as much adversity we went through. And we stuck together as a team. We came out with a tie, but I don't know if I should be happy or sad.
I have no idea either. But it was, I mean, that was a wacky, especially in the first half. I mean, like, they fumbled at the 2. You guys pick up a fumble with no time left, and you almost bring it back. I mean, they're down 10-0 off 2 fumbles. I mean, it was just odd. The block kick that somehow wasn't a block kick. Have you ever played in that weird of a half or a football game?
No, that was probably the quickest half, maybe the quickest game I didn't play in.
Hour 15, I think, the first half.
Yeah, so, and then the block punt, never seen that, but we're not going to talk about that. But we just got to bounce back, get ready for Ottawa. It's a big one this week. You know, they got a lot of momentum coming in this game, and we got a point to prove, too. So I'm looking forward to it.
Appreciate this, Reg. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Reggie White. Let's bring on, I think, the first time this year, we have Antonio Moultrie, defensive lineman, nice enough to join us. I don't know. I've been asking everybody. I don't know how to feel about this one, Antonio. It's a tie. You guys didn't have the lead until the end. Well, the start of the first overtime. Just how should I feel about a tie game tonight?
It's a confusing feeling right now. I mean, nobody really wants to ever tie. You want to come out with a W. But, I mean, we're just going to take this time. We're going to go back to the drawing board, fix what we need to fix on offense, special teams, and defense, and hopefully we come out with a W next week.
I know you guys made a conscious effort to work on short yardage throughout the week. We saw you guys practice it a lot. I thought tonight you guys didn't necessarily get a stop, but you did. You know, there was a fumble. It was big, but there seemed to be an improvement. How much did the work you guys put in this week help you guys? Because Tommy Stevens is one of the best, and you guys really limited a lot of close calls on short yardage.
Working on it during practice helped us a lot. You know, we had to fix most of our communication, where people are aligned, and there's assignments, and we basically just communicated and we executed today. I mean, we didn't get all the stops we wanted, but it was better. It was a better improvement from last week.
I thought that yourself in particular, I know that they did have a couple of explosive runs of more than 10 yards, but I thought overall there was some signs of improvement in stopping the run as well. I think you played a big part in that. How did you feel about the run defense and how that went tonight?
I feel like we did okay today. Like you said, it was a couple big runs that we don't want. As a defensive player, we don't really like that at all. We want to keep everything within 5 to minimum. But I feel like we played better on the defensive line, stopping the run and resetting line of scrimmage. But like I said, we got to go back to the drawing board next week and make sure we solidify 5 yards or less in the run game.
Walk me through, being in the trenches on short yardage and then the ball, bad snap, bad exchange with the center and their quarterback at the 2, and then it's just a sea of bodies. Just like, tell me, can you take me into the pile and tell me what's going on in that situation?
The dog pile, I'm not going to lie. The dog pile is pretty fun. Like, a lot of people see just bodies falling everywhere, but it's pretty fun, especially if you're, like, within the middle or the bottom, because, like, you're really down there scrapping with everybody, trying to rip the ball out. It's the gridiron, it gets aggressive down there. People are fighting, to get the first downs or to stop them on the third down. But, I mean, it's fun. You just got to bite your mouthpiece, put your hard hat on and just go to work, But, I mean, it is fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy the short. It's something new that, back in the States we don't do short yardage like this, the yard off, and, you can just launch off at people like this. But it's definitely something that I enjoy, and it's fun. I love it.
It felt like a chippy game tonight out there in the trenches. I mean, there was a lot of unnecessary roughness, major fouls that were called tonight. Just what was, how hot did the temperature get down there?
It was getting really chippy. We getting later towards the season. Everybody's, there's a lot of aggression on the field. People trying to make playoff runs, make sure they get to the Grey Cup, etc. So, it's a lot of chippiness out there. But, as a professional, you have to learn how to keep your head cool, focus on what you need to do so you don't cost the team in any bad ways.
Appreciate this, Antonio. Thanks for stopping by.
Bonjour. Right,
thank you. There you go. Very well done. Antonio Moultrie, nice enough to stop by. He's had a very nice first year in the Canadian Football League. OK, on va continuer avec les commentaires. Pierre qui dit drôle de game du début à la fin. 100%. Marco, quand on va avoir des nouvelles de Sean Lemon, Kelly, lui, peut revenir, mais Lemon, non. Vraiment incompréhensible. Ouais, je sais pas. Honnêtement, on n'a pas On n'a pas. OK, the star of the show is here. Attends, on va continuer, mais on n'a pas de nouvelles. You can come this way. Which way? Yes, this is the way.
My friend,
All right, I'm living the dream, watching you kick field goals. They pay me to watch you kick field goals. I feel blessed. I do not get to vote for the Budweiser Player of the Game. I don't know what happened, but my vote would have gone to you because I thought you were outstanding tonight. You had 53-yarder, you had one with no time left in regulation, and you had the 2 in overtime in pressure situations. Just tell me how you feel about the way you kick the ball, and you've been kicking the ball real well as of late.
As I always say, I wait 11 years for these kind of opportunities, and for me, I enjoy these kind of situations because it shows that I was ready to get these important kicks. And at the end of the day, I always try to help the team, the organization, to win. But as I always say as well, control what you can control, and I needed to control my kicks to help the team.
All right, we just got confirmation for the first time since we've been handing this award out. The fans voted a kicker Budweiser Player of the Game. So you're going to have the big, we don't have the trophy on the road, but you're going to have the big trophy in your locker. So the fans voted for you tonight, and I think it was an obvious choice. Walk me through the mindset. 53 yards, you step up to make the kick. Just what's going through your mind at that point? Are you thinking, is the mind just blank? Like, what's going through your mind at that point? Walk me through the kick.
It's blank, and it's happiness because I always think like that I'm going to celebrate with my teammates. So I close my eyes before to get to the field, and I feel like happy that I'm ready to kick this field goal, and I see myself celebrate my celebration. You know what I mean? Every time. So my positive thoughts always and the result is always positive. So that's why.
What longest field goal you ever kicked in any league was?
56 in a game for
Mexico?
For Mexico team in a senior world championship in Austria in 2011. And my longest in training is 70 yards.
70.
Yeah.
Okay, so 53 is right up there. I think it's the second longest. I think the longest field goal in Alouettes history, I saw David Arsenault from RDS had it at 54. So, I mean, you were right there.
Those are the hardest kicks, you know what I mean? Because sometimes we think that it's going to be easy to kick a 53 or a 47, a 42-yarder. But at the end of the day, for me, a 53 is like an extra point. I try to kick the same field goal, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Just no time left. You guys get into field goal range. Can you take me through, when we take over with the ball deep in our own territory, can you take me through what your psyche is and what you're trying to think of? Is it the same thing? You're trying to think positive thoughts, but before you step on the field, what's that like watching the offense?
My mindset is always staying hard, you know what I mean? Like mentally, staying hard, strong mental. Yeah. So I always think that I wanted this opportunity. Yeah. I wait a long time to get this opportunity. So you want it, you take it, or you leave it, Jose. Yeah. How bad do you want it? So that's my mindset every time, and the result is that.
I know you and I have talked about it. We did a podcast episode on it, but maybe for the fans who didn't catch that episode of the podcast, could you walk me through your journey? Because there was 3 years that you were waiting by the phone, waiting for the phone to ring, and you kept going and you kept training and you kept working on chasing your dream. So can you just take us through, give us a timeline of how you ended up getting to Montreal after your long journey in professional football?
Well, I mean, since I started my professional career, it was in 2013 with the Saints. In the NFL, they released me. I went with the Patriots the same year. And then the hardest part for me was 2014 till 2017. Yeah. No opportunities, no emails, no text, no calls, nothing. So I was with 2 options. You give up or you keep grinding and waiting with patience for your opportunity, Jose. So I choose be patient and wait for my opportunity. So then 2018, everything started with the CFL. That was my first year in the CFL in 2018. And now with the Alouettes, I mean, I can't complain because in 22, I almost give up and go to my other job. But, I was the same mindset, like staying hard. And I waited, and it was worth it for me.
For those who don't know, Jose also a very successful real estate agent out in Mexico. I know that you and David Cote are very close, but how tough is it to sit and wait on the practice roster? When you pass 30 years old, I know kickers can kick for a long time, but just mentally, you said you almost gave up in 2022. What led you to not give up, and what did you think about this opportunity in Montreal here?
I didn't name it, but God, obviously. My faith is stronger. It's crazy. Like, I'm blind following my faith to God, and I trust His times, and this is the result. That's why I'm here, and because of Him.
How should we feel about a tie game, Jose? Because I think the fans are kind of split. Like, you guys didn't have the lead until you kicked the 16-13 field goal in the first overtime, but the game also felt like it was there for the taking. How do you guys feel about tying this game?
I mean, it's a tie is good because we were losing, and then a tie is better than lose. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we need to work harder, work better to get a win. I mean, we have to win. We need to win. We need to keep locked in our minds and be the team, the fans, and everybody knows that we are the Montreal Alouettes, the Grey Cup champions.
Thanks for this, Jose. Congratulations on a great game.
Thank you so much.
All right, Jose Maltos, the Budweiser player of the game. What a performance from Maltos. OK, on va continuer avec les commentaires parce que quand on est sur la route, il faut aller un peu plus vite parce que, évidemment, on décolle tout de suite ce soir. Donc, on ne reste pas à Calgary. On atterrit à Montréal vers 4h30. 5 heures du matin. Donc, c'est ça. Donc, je veux essayer de lire le plus de commentaires possible avant qu'un autre joueur arrive. On va faire un autre 10 minutes environ. On va voir qui sort ce soir. OK. Can't believe how bad the offense played today. Thank God Calgary sucks because a competent team would have hung 50 on us tonight. I don't know about that. I mean, you can't underestimate the desperation that a Calgary team that's fighting for their playoff lives has to play with. Jake Maier was benched last week. They came back. He came back this week. Had a decent start to the game. They moved the ball relatively well. They didn't finish off a ton of drives, obviously, but Calgary had a lot to lose tonight, and they played tough and they played hard. If you think that these games are going to be easy, I mean, everyone thought that BC was the hot thing after they came in and beat us last week, and then they put up a dud at home in front of their own fans last night against Toronto. I mean, Hamilton is 3-9. Ottawa's 8-3-1 going into this afternoon, and Ottawa loses. Just a weird week. These are things that happen. It's an 18-game season with 3 bye weeks, so the regular season is 21 weeks long if you include the bye weeks. And these are things that are going to happen. Honestly, they are. These are things. It's a long season. The offense is not going to click for 18 games. The defense is not going to be perfect for 18 games. The special teams neither. It's just sometimes, you get into these matchups and, they're difficult. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, Ottawa's 8-3 or 8-4-1 now. And, we put a beating on them in the first. It doesn't, game to game, you don't know. It just, you can't say that a competent team would have put 50 on us. It's just, I don't live that way. Quand vous allez arrêter de jouer avec votre mentalité de on est déjà qualifié pour les séries, il ne faut pas se blesser. Je pense pas. Non, ça je suis pas d'accord avec ça. Du tout. Pas d'accord avec ça du tout. C'est pas une équipe qui joue avec une mentalité de ne pas se blesser. Absolument pas. C'est pas du tout le cas. On a un autre joueur qui a joué son premier match dans la Ligue canadienne de football et pour les Alouettes, t'es grand par exemple, mon Phil. Donc, on va te faire venir ici. OK, Phil Lemieux Cardinal. Écoute, Phil, grosse coupe de semaine pour toi. Tu signes avec les Alouettes, il y a une coupe de semaine. Là, tu arrives avec coupe de pratique cette semaine. Tu joues ton premier match. Comment tu te sens après ce match?
Que je te dirais que c'est un petit rêve pour moi qui se réalise. Juste content d'avoir fait partie de cette game-là. Avoir eu la chance de mettre les pieds sur le terrain aussi, de compétitionner avec les gars, de montrer aussi que je suis capable de jouer à ce niveau-là. Mais pour moi, c'était une très belle journée. Puis je vais me rappeler aussi pour longtemps. Là.
Il n'y a pas beaucoup de joueurs professionnels qui peuvent dire que leur premier match a terminé en match nul. Comment est-ce qu'on est supposé de se sentir avec un match nul ce soir?
Je te dirais que c'est vraiment des émotions partagées. Ceux qu'on aurait sortir avec la victoire, je pense qu'on a des opportunités aussi qu'on a laissées sur le terrain, qu'on aurait voulu peut-être mieux concrétiser. Mais on va juste retourner au bureau lundi. On va continuer à travailler sur les petites erreurs et corriger ça en vue du match contre Ottawa la semaine prochaine.
Tu as attendu patiemment. On vient de parler à José Maltos qui a dit qu'il était en dehors du football pendant 3 ans après avoir été libéré par les Saints. Toi aussi, tu as attendu, je pense, ton année de repêchage était l'année dernière, 2023. Donc
2021 même, je te dirais.
21,
2022.
22, c'est ça.
Puis là,
Qu'est-ce que tu as fait pendant ce temps-là?
je suis retourné jouer une dernière année à l'Université de Montréal en 2022. Par après, signé à Ottawa pour le camp 2023. Ça n'a pas fonctionné. J'ai été libéré. Là, ça faisait 1 an que j'étais, si tu veux, agent libre. Continué à travailler fort dans le gym, continué à travailler fort sur le terrain. Puis finalement, l'opportunité s'est présentée. On était prêt à la prendre. Puis on est là. On est là aujourd'hui à Calgary. On a joué un premier match professionnel. Juste pour l'équipe de mon enfance et que je ne pourrais pas demander mieux. Puis j'ai juste hâte de continuer à travailler fort puis de continuer à prouver ce que je peux faire sur le terrain.
Ton plus beau souvenir des Alouettes quand tu étais plus jeune, y en a-tu un qui te sort?
Oui, le botté gagnant, Damon Duval.
En 2009.
2009, incroyable. Pour moi, j'ai regardé ça à la télé chez moi. Je me rappelle à Outremont, à 15 minutes du stade Percival-Molson. La game ne se jouait pas à Montréal, par contre, mais je me rappelle le botté manqué, finalement,
C'était ici, je pense.
pénalité. C'était à Calgary?
Oui, je pense que oui.
Botté manqué, repris, finalement réussi. Très, très beau souvenir pour moi des Alouettes. Là.
José Maltos a connu un gros match ce soir. Juste parle-moi de sa performance et des unités spéciales en général.
Écoute, je pense qu'il a montré que c'était un botteur au sang-froid, un botteur qui est très performant aussi dans les gros moments. José, je pense qu'il se prépare à tous les jours comme s'il allait kicker le botté égalisateur, le botté victorieux dans le match. Fait que je pense que pour lui, c'est quelque chose de travailler depuis très longtemps. Mentalement, il est solide. Puis je pense que ça nous a montré aujourd'hui que c'est un gros botteur. Puis on est très content de l'avoir aussi dans notre équipe.
Merci beaucoup, Phil, et félicitations.
Merci beaucoup.
All
Merci.
right. Phil Lemieux-Cardinal qui a joué un match solide sur les unités spéciales ce soir, son premier match. Il a attendu longtemps, mais grosse performance des unités spéciales et on est content pour un petit gars de chez nous, Phil Lemieux-Cardinal. OK, on continue avec les commentaires. Moss devrait donner une chance à Alexander. Notre attaque ne gère absolument rien depuis quelques semaines. Je pense que je vous trouve un peu sévère envers Cody Fajardo et l'attaque. J'aime bien Davis Alexander. Là. Il a vraiment bien joué pendant que Cody était blessé, mais oui. All right. G. Walker, Speaker was pitifully underutilized tonight. Yeah, sometimes that's just the way it goes. Just there's some nights you get peppered with targets. Tonight, I know Kaion got a lot of targets. I know Speaker got some as well. I know Snead got some as well. So a little bit difficult for Speaker. He had the big catch in overtime to move the chains. But yeah, I mean, there's some nights as a receiver that's just the way it's going to go. You're just, I think he was, he did a lot of good blocking and protecting. So I think that's just what it was tonight. Salut Louis Gabriel, salut Joey. Tu as pensé quoi des performances de Snead et Julien-Grant dans les mesures où il revenait de longues blessures? Oui, Louis Gabriel, excellent point. Louis Gabriel, mon co-animateur à domicile sur l'après-match. Écoute, je pense qu'ils ont bien joué. Encore une fois, j'ai pas les stats finales devant moi, mais je trouve que Julien-Grant était quand même occupé ce soir. Et c'était vraiment bon de le revoir revenir au jeu parce qu'il ajoute une certaine rapidité à l'attaque. Pour Snead aussi, je pense une des premières séquences à l'attaque en deuxième essai est long. On a visé Snead 2 fois et il a réussi à les attraper. Il y avait une tentative de course aussi. Donc, non, je pense que les deux ont quand même très bien joué. Et c'est ça qui arrive des fois. Je sais que Speaker était un peu moins occupé ce soir, mais c'est ça que ça donne. Denis, c'est un gros point qui pourrait nous servir pour terminer en tête de la division, mais beaucoup trop de failles depuis quelques semaines. 5 parties avant la fin de l'année pour s'améliorer. Écoute, Denis, on l'a mentionné un peu plus tôt. Je sais que tu suis les Alouettes depuis longtemps, mais c'est une saison qui est assez longue. 18 matchs, 21 semaines avec les semaines de congé. C'est long. On ne sera pas dominant tout le temps. C'est impossible. Toronto l'a été l'an dernier, mais pour eux autres, ils ont perdu en finale de l'As. Donc, je pense que c'est toujours bon d'affronter un peu d'adversité, mais je comprends que pour le moment, en ce moment, oui, il y a des choses qui ne vont pas comme il allait en tout début d'année, mais c'est impossible d'être en feu comme on l'a été du début de la saison à la fin. C'est juste impossible. Et là, on a 5 victoires, aucune défaite, un match nul sur la route. Va voir les autres équipes sur la route. Le Rouge et Noir, je pense qu'elle était la deuxième meilleure équipe sur la route, puis ils avaient une fiche de 2 et 3. Là, ils sont rendus 2 et 4 avec la défaite à Hamilton. Donc, le fait que c'est... How are you? Good. Hi, how's it going? Le fait que les Alouettes sont 5, 0 et 1 sur la route, c'est quand même impressionnant. All right. Brad, fair result, i.e. a tie considering the Owls' lack of consistency on offense combined with bad calls from command center. Hard to win against Stamps and League. Yeah, I don't know if this game was, decided by the officials. Like, in fairness, like, we don't know how it would have played out. I certainly do not understand the blocked kick being overturned by command center, but in fairness, they did follow that up with a punt, and the Alouettes did score on the ensuing drive. So, I think that kind of balanced itself out. I'm really curious to see, what the explanation is from the league if we get one. But yeah, that was a little bit of a weird game overall. But I wouldn't say that this is a tie because of the officials. I think the Alouettes left a lot out there. We haven't talked about it yet. It did feel like there were some really undisciplined penalties tonight. A lot of major fouls, some penalties on special teams, some stuff after the play. Ironically, Calgary took a couple in overtime at the end there, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't a tie because of the officials tonight. I'll say that. Carl, as we regroup for the Grey Cup run, I'll take this tie and we roll on. Hey, listen, you might not be happy about the way this tie came about, but it's a point in the standings, whereas Ottawa lost today. So you're up by 4 points, whereas coming into this week, you're up by 3. So you'll take it, you take the point and you go. OK. Qu'est-ce qui se passe avec côté blessé pour le moment sur la liste des blessés des 6 matchs? All right. We've got, you can come back if you want. All right. Well, I won't keep you too long. We got Kaion Julien-Grant tonight. I don't have the numbers. I just felt like you were really, really busy. A lot of targets. How'd you feel physically after, being off for 6 games?
I feel good. The elevation, obviously, with the wind and everything, but other than that, I feel good. I just want to thank God for allowing me to get back, but other than that, yeah. Tough, not loss, but tie.
It kind of feels like that.
Yeah, it's just a crappy way to end it.
Yeah.
But we just got to correct our mistakes, really.
Yeah, my follow-up is just like how should Alouettes fans? Because I think in the comments people are kind of confused. How should you feel about this one if you're a fan of the Alouettes?
Definitely feel confused knowing the caliber of our team, and anytime we lose, it's ourselves, really. And like that's the number one team that will beat us is ourselves. So we just got to bounce back and correct everything.
It felt like you guys tied because of yourselves too, because there was a lot of plays that were left on there. And then going down 10-0, Kaion, I know you're not going to pull a ton of positives from this, but battling back from down 10-0 before Cody even threw a pass. Just what can you say about the fight back and getting yourself back and getting yourself a lead in overtime?
We never really hang our heads or think about the lead. If we're up, we just always want to dominate. And I feel like we thrive under pressure and just finishing games. Yeah.
How did you feel just offensively tonight overall? How do you think you guys did?
I definitely feel like we left some plays on the table. I had a post that could have flipped the field, and who knows what would have happened. So just left plays on the field, really.
Thanks for doing this.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, and then overall, just a weird game. Like the blocked punt, and I don't know. I was like
the fumble at the end.
Yeah, it's all weird, but you just gotta keep our heads up and just get back to work.
Have you ever played a weird one like that before? Because that was something like Moose rumbling to the end zone. I mean, it was just weird.
It was weird from the beginning. Like we had a fumble to start. Yeah, it was just.
You guys never got the cue. You guys never got the cue to come out for the national anthem in the locker room.
It's just that was weird too. I didn't like that.
Thanks for doing this, Kaion. We'll let you go find your family, but it was good to see you out there.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, Kaion Julien-Grant, nice enough to stop by. OK, on va faire une autre couple de minutes. On va lire plus grand nombre de commentaires et de questions J'ai aimé la présence de Hamlin, le Richard de retour, Canhart, Fajardo un peu rouillé, mais on l'aime. Oui. J'ai bien aimé Hamlin. Il a fait des jeux sur les unités spéciales aussi. C'est pas facile de remplacer de quoi, évidemment. C'est le meilleur maraudeur de la Ligue. Mais je trouve que pour une recrue, Hamlin a très bien joué. Fajardo fait rien depuis 3 matchs. OK. Ben, ça fait 3 matchs. Je comprends. L'attaque ne produit pas depuis 3 matchs. Je n'essaie pas de dire le contraire. Je fais juste vous dire qu'une une saison de 18 matchs, c'est impossible. C'est sûr qu'il va y avoir des périodes un peu plus creuses. Je ne fais pas d'excuses. Je vous le dis, ils n'ont pas produit depuis une couple de semaines. C'est clair. C'est clair, net et précis. Je ne fais pas d'excuses. Je fais juste vous dire que c'est une longue saison. Il faut être patient. Il faut être patient avec l'attaque. On les a vus bien performer depuis le début de la saison. Donc, c'est normal qu'à un certain point, ça ne va pas cliquer. Mais je vois des commentaires. Vous voulez mettre le joueur le plus utile de la Coupe Grey sur le banc. Je ne suis pas d'accord. Je m'excuse, je ne suis pas d'accord. Je respecte les opinions de tout le monde. Je respecte votre opinion, tous ceux qui sont dans les commentaires. Mais moi, je ne suis pas prêt à mettre le joueur le plus utile de la Coupe Grey. Il y a 7 mois, 8 mois, 9 mois, je ne suis pas prêt à le mettre sur le banc. That's it, that's all, c'est tout. Donc, je respecte l'opinion de tout le monde, mais je ne suis pas là encore. Si on l'attaque clique pendant 18 matchs, écoute, Cody passerait pour 7000 verges. C'est des choses qui n'arrivent pas. C'est des choses qui arrivent tout simplement pas. Tout le monde pensait, aussitôt que Nathan Rourke allait arriver, que ça allait bien aller pour les Lions. Ça a été compliqué. Même chose pour Chad Kelly. Tous les corps arrière passent par là. On joue des semaines courtes, on joue des saisons qui sont assez longues. Donc, c'est normal que... Et encore là, je regarde les stats, c'est 19 en 26. 204 verges, c'est pas idéal, mais 19 en 26. Il y a plein de situations où on était en premier et long, deuxième et long encore à cause des punitions. Donc, je comprends, je suis d'accord. Je fais pas d'excuses. Ça fait 2-3 matchs que l'attaque ne produit pas, mais je suis pas prêt à mettre le corps arrière sur le banc. C'est tout. Bon, on a gaspillé assez de temps là-dessus. Mais non, je m'excuse. On n'a pas gaspillé de temps parce que toutes les questions sont legit. Je suis prêt à les répondre, mais je suis juste pas d'accord. C'est tout. Le botteur, c'est certain. Maltos for Prime Minister. Defensive Beast. Sankey plays real stanky. LOL. OK, Joe? Love Cody, but he was not in it tonight. Held the ball way too long on every play and missed wide open throws. Cody wasn't perfect tonight. I don't know if he missed a ton of wide open throws, but the offense just in general tonight, protection at times let up. Sometimes Cody hung onto the ball too long. Listen, it was a tough night for the offense. I'm not disputing that. Défensivement, rien à dire. Oui, beaucoup de verges par la course. La course, on plie, mais on ne casse pas. Joey, le ministère des excuses. OK. Je ne suis pas prêt. Je vous concède que l'attaque n'a pas bien joué. Je ne suis pas prêt à mettre le MVP de la Coupe Grey sur le banc. Je ne sais pas comment je deviens le ministère des excuses à cause de ça, mais OK. Qu'est-ce que je trouve plate en ce moment serait que les fans sont trop durs avec Fajardo. Aurez-vous aimé mieux qu'on perd? Je pense que non. C'est mieux avoir un nul qu'une défaite. Brandon, 100%. Faut juste finir premier. Oui, absolument. Je suis d'accord avec ça. So nice to watch a game after bye-week break. Une nulle, c'est ça qui arrive quand tu joues contre les arbitres et le centre de commande. Écoute, le botté bloqué, je suis entièrement d'accord. Celle-là, je ne la comprends pas, mais honnêtement, ce n'est pas un match nul à cause des arbitres. One touchdown doesn't win games? Absolutely. You're 100% right about that, Anthony. Ottawa, beaucoup blessés encore aujourd'hui. Oui, Alexandre, je pense que Darius Pickett s'est blessé. J'espère que ce n'est pas sérieux, mais il s'est blessé en tout début de match. Je suis sûr en série, Mac va être de retour. Très possible. Thank you, Calgary, for choking the game away. I think the Alouettes, they did some work. I think the Alouettes did a relatively good job of battling back. Defense stepped up for sure. Offense has to wake up. Victoria, okay, yeah, I'm not disputing that. Thank you, Heather. Le coach même et les joueurs ont dit au début d'année, la Coupe Grey, c'est l'an passé. Je sais, je comprends. Oui, la Coupe Grey est l'an passé, mais tu as eu t'as eu le corps arrière qui a réussi un des jeux ou une séquence, une série à l'attaque la plus clutch de l'histoire des Alouettes. Et vous êtes prêt, après une coupe de mauvaises performances de l'attaque, vous êtes prêt à changer de corps arrière. Je suis juste pas d'accord. If you can't have ties in playoff games, then there shouldn't be ties in regular season games at all. Yeah, I know, but in the regular season, these games have to end sometime. I mean, these guys can't keep playing, minute after minute. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to play overtime. You're beat up. On est tough. That a boy, Joey, keep up the good work. You're really doing a good job. Thank you. On est faible en défensive sur les deuxièmes et longs. Ce soir, ça a été un peu difficile. C'est un bon point, Martial. Hey, Steph, I haven't heard from you in a while. Tyrell Richards was right last week. He's unblockable on special teams. That's a good point. I'm glad you brought it up, Steph, because I thought Richards was outstanding on special teams tonight. Jeff, vrai, je suis d'accord que le geste est plus grave. Oh, j'ai perdu de... OK. Grave, mais agressé. OK, well, ça, c'est... On parle de Chad Kelly. Andrew, Jose Maltos is the player of the game. Yes, Jose Maltos is the player of the game. Guillaume, it was a comedy of errors from both sides of the ball, and we only lost a point out of it. Yeah, 100%. We only lost a point in the standings. But, what do you want to do? Jose Maltos, 4 for 4, 53 yards. Look, I just want to say, we get heated sometimes on the post-game show. You haven't won in 2 games, and I understand, and I love that we disagree. I honestly, I love it. I don't want to sit here and agree with everybody all the time. I'm just telling you guys, I said it a million times, I'm just not ready to put Cody Fajardo on the bench. I'm not going there. Offensively, it's been tough. I don't think that's just on the quarterback. But tonight, already, I thought there was a bit more positives in the running game. Le jeu au sol a quand même bien fonctionné. Donc, on va voir ce que ça donne la semaine prochaine à Ottawa. J'espère que vous allez être là à Ottawa. Et si vous n'êtes pas à Ottawa, prochain match à domicile, c'est le 14 octobre. C'est un lundi à 13h. Match Action de grâce contre le Rouge et Noir. Joey, any news on Uguak? Non, rien encore. Pas de nouvelles de Lual Uguak. I want to wish the Alouettes team a good ride back home. Thank you very much. We're taking off right now. They're starting to close the lights in the stadium, so we got to get going. But Mousse aurait pu donner 3 points en fin de demi. Ouais, OK, mauvaise décision. Ouais, je sais, je comprends, mais tu as le ballon dans les mains. Il faut que tu ramasses le ballon. Il faut que tu cours, tu attends des blocs. Les joueurs défensifs n'ont pas souvent le ballon dans les mains. Donc, tu n'es pas habitué de regarder le cadran et de voir. Il y avait un bloc qui a été raté en avant. Donc, c'est vraiment... je ne sais pas si c'est une erreur de la part de Mousse. Je ne suis pas prêt à aller là encore. Joey, I hope you enjoyed your trip to Calgary and had a nice day. I did. I had a nice New York trip last night. Thank you. Absolutely. See you next week. See you next week, Heather. Il ne faut pas oublier, on a des gros noms sur la liste des blessés. Mac, Phil Paul. Absolument, mais ce n'est pas une excuse. Kevin, je comprends. Marc-André, excuse-moi, je comprends. Mais on ne peut pas faire d'excuses. Si nous sommes sévères envers Fajardo, c'est parce qu'on veut qu'il ait de succès et que nous l'aimons. 100%, c'est totalement correct. Si vous êtes, si vous êtes négatif avec, si vous voulez être négatif avec le fait que l'attaque n'a pas bien joué, ça c'est correct, c'est pas négatif, c'est des faits. Je comprends qu'ils n'ont pas bien joué, mais quand même, je suis juste pas prêt à mettre le carrière partant sur le banc. Je trouve qu'on est toujours comme ça à Montréal. Avec le gardien de but du Canadien, avec le carrière des Alouettes, ça arrive tout le temps. Et j'apprécie ceux qui restent positifs. Si vous voulez être négatif, c'est correct. Ça fait 2 matchs de suite qu'on ne gagne pas. Vous avez le droit. Je ne vous dis pas le contraire. Il y a des choses à améliorer. C'est clair. C'est clair. mais je suis juste pas prêt à mettre le corps arrière partant sur le banc. C'est là où on n'est pas d'accord. Je ne vous dis pas que l'attaque a bien joué. Je fais juste vous dire que je ne suis pas prêt à mettre le corps arrière qui est ce match-là était le favori pour gagner, était en tête pour gagner le joueur le plus utile de la Ligue canadienne de football. Je ne sais pas quoi dire. Je m'excuse, mais je ne sais pas quoi dire. OK, il y a plein de commentaires. Moi, je veux juste que les Alouettes finissent premiers pour être à 2 games de trophée. 100%, Stéphane, on est exactement dans le même bateau. 100%. Oui. Jeff qui dit hâte au fanboss de samedi prochain. Oui, Jeff, j'ai hâte de vous voir à Ottawa. Good night, Joey. Take care, Brandon. Thanks, Casey. Sans rancune, Joey, pas facile la job. Non, écoute, la job est facile. J'ai tellement de plaisir à parler avec vous autres après chaque match et avant chaque match sur le balado qu'on fait à chaque semaine. J'adore parler football avec vous autres. Je trouve que vous êtes des fans passionnés et des fans intelligents. Donc, merci. J'ai beaucoup de plaisir à faire ma job. Mais c'est tout. Il faut qu'on s'en aille. Les lumières commencent à fermer au stade ici à McMahon. L'autobus va quitter bientôt. On a essayé d'étirer la sauce au plus long possible. Andrew, it's a very big, long, convoluted answer that I don't have the time to get to right now, unfortunately. But we will tackle that throughout the week. We'll talk about it, and the Alouettes will get ready for the Ottawa Redblacks in Ottawa next Saturday. Thank you, everybody. Next home game, October the 14th. If you don't have your tickets, go visit goalsgo.com. Thank you very much for all the comments. Même ceux où on n'a pas été d'accord, merci pour les commentaires. On apprécie les interactions entre moi et les partisans, les joueurs et les partisans. Donc, arrêtez jamais. Si vous voulez me critiquer, s'il vous plaît, n'hésitez pas. J'adore quand on a des débats en ondes. C'est parfait. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Bonne soirée et on se recroise exactement dans une semaine à Ottawa.